Hello, only about children families. Welcome to your first workshop with me. I'm super excited. This is a really good recipe to do with the little ones just because you get to chuck in as much veggies as you want into the recipe. Also, it's quite easy, and once you've got this down pat, you can do this almost like once a week. It's really fun. They get to roll it up and get involved with their food, which is amazing for them to know what they're eating. So first thing you'll need to do is we've got scotch fillet here, about 500 grams, and we're going to marinate it. I've got oyster sauce and sesame oil fish sauce in here. I'll put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil as well. If you're vegetarian, you could always do this with mushrooms. I like king oyster mushrooms or even just oyster mushrooms. They go really well with this. Even just egg is totally fine. Sesame oil, if you don't like fish sauce, you can just go with the salt and olive oil, and that's it. So first thing you'll need is the oyster sauce, and I'd go about, so this is 500 grams of beef. I'd go about a tablespoon of the oyster sauce. Yep, so a tablespoon of the oyster sauce, which has heaps of flavor, and you'll probably already know what this tastes like, but just not know that it's in your food already. So a tablespoon of oyster sauce, about a half or 2 teaspoons of sesame oil here, which is just gives it a nice kind of nutty kind of flavor, which is amazing. We've got fish sauce, and I would go with a teaspoon of fish sauce. I'd usually go with a little bit more for myself, but since we've got the little ones eating as well, we can always add our own kind of extra at the end. A pinch of sugar, a pinch of salt. This is for about 4 cloves of garlic that are finely minced. And look, everything is better with garlic. If you don't like garlic, that's okay. I think maybe, but garlic is a good one for me here because I think it just gives it a nice savory kind of taste. We've got olive oil. We'll go for a teaspoon of olive oil just to give it a nice fatty kind of layer to it. Olive oil is really good for the little ones as well because we all know that lots of extra healthy fats is good for the little ones. We've all kind of learnt not to like fat as adults, but for the little one, fats is really good for them. We've got the beef here, which has got lots of protein, which is really good. So we're gonna mix this around here, which it's smelling amazing already. And I haven't even cooked it yet, which is crazy. Mix this around. We want to marinate this for about 30 minutes or so. You could go for longer. Obviously, the longer you marinate something, the more flavor you get. But look, I know as parents, you don't really have the most time in the world, so marinate it for as long as the little ones are complying. So we've got the beef here. Next thing we'll need is to cook up the beef. And to do that, okay, so we've got our pan on. The good thing about this one is we've got butter, right? And butter makes everything better as well. And I don't know, it's a very strange thing to have butter in Vietnamese cooking, but for some reason, everybody adds butter to this dish when they make it at home. And it's good, again, lots of healthy fats for the little ones, which is what we want, right? It's really hard to get healthy fats into the little ones sometimes, and sometimes they just want to eat rice crackers, which we all know have almost no nutrition into them. So whenever we can, add a little bit of extra healthy fats into their food, which is really good for them. So the butter is melting pretty good. We want to get it nice and warm so that we can put the beef in. We're gonna do this for the little ones. We're gonna just wrap it with the rice noodles and whatever veggies and herbs we have here. For the adults, I don't want you to miss out, so we're gonna do a little sauce for the adults as well, which you'll need just a little bit of minced garlic and chili, sugar, fish sauce, warm water, and you've got a beautiful Vietnamese nuoc cham, which will go amazing with this. This is what I eat it with all the time, and you can also eat this you know, nước chấm goes over everything in Vietnamese food. Sometimes when I'm lazy and I don't want to actually wrap it, I'll use the same ingredients, get the noodles into a bowl, all the herbs and veggies and the meat into a bowl, and then just pour the sauce on top, and you have like yourself a little salad bowl, which is super easy. It's a very dad move to do, but you know, it does its job. So we're gonna get about a third of the beef in there. You don't want to put too much beef in there just because it'll overcrowd the pan and you get it steaming instead of frying. It smells beautiful right now. So if you haven't got oyster sauce in your pantry right now, you should get it, because honestly, just oyster sauce and a little bit of olive oil and garlic in any kind of meat will make it better. Like, it is the little kind of secret that mostly all Asian cuisines use, and it's just a perfect little kind of marinade for anything, and it just makes everything taste beautiful. Alright. So we're gonna fry this until we're kind of nice and brown on all sides. So when you're cutting the Scotch fillet, you want to try to cut it really, really thinly, as thin as possible. There might be some little bits of sinew in between the meat, so you want to kind of cut off that sinew and leave that behind. My mum actually uses rump for this, which is a lot cheaper, but I like to go a little bit more fancy and using Scotch fillet to get that extra soft kind of tender bite to it. But rump works well. We've got, for vegetarians, we've got mushroom, oyster mushroom, king oyster mushroom, sliced really finely is really good as well. Sometimes you go with chicken if you're feeling like chicken. So you could really use almost any, sub out any protein for this, and you'll have, you know, rice paper rolls ready to go. I've spoken to a lot of people after I've taught them how to do this, and the best thing about this is once you've done it once or twice, it becomes like a home recipe that you do all the time. It's almost like tacos, but obviously it's not tacos anymore. It's your own like Vietnamese rice paper rolls at home. It could be like rice paper roll Thursdays or Fridays, whatever it is. It's really, really fun to make too. So I'm gonna put this beef here, just down here. Remember, this is only about a third of the beef. I'm gonna move everything. That was a little bit hot. Alright, so this is about a third of the beef. Don't worry, it might look like there's not too much beef, but you don't really use too much when you make the rice paper rolls. I usually, oh, I forgot as well, I usually put a little bit of onion to fry up with the beef as well. It just kind of gives it a nice savouriness. So if you're into onions, get in onto it. So while that's cooling, we can start on our rice paper rolls, which we've got here. So what you need is rice paper, which you've got here. We've got some warm water. It doesn't have to be too hot, just warm from the tap. We get the rice paper and we're just going to dip it in so that it covers the whole rice paper roll. Don't worry about getting it soft straight away. It'll soften on the plate. So just a quick dip onto the plate, and we're going to leave that there. Next is my favorite part, and the fun thing about this is whenever you have this on the dinner table, it's just a funny thing about everybody rolls it differently, and it's really, really fun to see how, you know, everybody's roll turns out differently. Some people have really, really fat rolls. Some people have really thin and long rolls. So if you want to try to get it perfect, you might want to, you know, copy how I do it, but some people say that mine are a little bit funny looking as well. So we've got all these herbs and veggies here. We've got mint, coriander, cucumber, avocado, again, healthy fats for the little ones, carrots. You can put whatever fresh herb or vegetable you want into this. Again, it's like build your own, like build your own adventure. So we'll go with all the herbs I've got here. We've got mint, carrot that I've grated, some beautiful cucumber that I've just ribboned with the peeler, coriander, and we'll go even avocado for this one. Which, look, I get it, avocado is quite a strange kind of ingredient to put into a rice paper roll traditionally, but again, we've got to change, you know, what we usually do traditionally to get the little ones eating a little bit more healthier. And I think also we forget how unhealthy we are as adults eating. So we've got our rice paper roll here with our noodles and all our veggies and herbs. Next, we'll get our beef, which we'll just put on here. A little bit of beef, which I don't want to toot my own horn, but it smells really, really good. So this is the tricky part. We're gonna wrap over just like so. Roll it over one more time. We want to fold both ends just like a burrito. If you're used to rolling burritos, you know. Roll it again through here. And there you go, that's your rice paper roll. I usually can't wait to eat it straight away, so I usually make them as I go, as I eat. But if you are patient and you want to kind of make them all ready, it won't take you too long. You just roll them all at once, put them all on the table, chop them up, and then you can all have a, you know, a little feast. I think it's funner to kind of do it as you go, eat, kind of build it, eat, talk, have a little bit of fun with the family, build a couple more. I would give this to the little ones as is, maybe just chopped up really small so they can do little bite size. But for the adults, I don't want to leave you hanging, so I'm going to show you how to make the nook jam, which is super, super easy. And like once you have this recipe on you, you'll be able to eat so much different Vietnamese foods. This is 3 tablespoons of sugar. I know it sounds like a lot of sugar, and it is quite a lot of sugar, but Vietnamese food uses a lot of sugar. You've just got to live with that fact. 4 tablespoons of water, and this is pretty warm water. You can get boiling water as well, which makes the sugar melt a lot faster. We've got 1 garlic clove that I've minced up here, and 1 bird's eye chili that I've cut really, really finely. And then next, we've got 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. So I'm going to mix this up first, the sugar, so that we kind of get it dissolved before I put the fish sauce in. And then we've got 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. 1, 2, 3. So we've got the fish sauce, the nook jam, and our rice paper roll. I'm going to dig in because, no, I almost forgot. We need lime for our sauce. So about 1 lime is what you'll need. Don't worry about measuring it. I've done this so many times that I know that 1 lime does the job for this sauce. So 1 whole lime, which gives it a nice kind of acidic balance to the fish sauce with the sugar and the salty fish sauce and the spicy chili. Alright, so there we go, that's the nook jam. Make sure that you mix it around so that sugar dissolves, or else you get a nice bite of sugar at the end of your meal and you don't really want that. So, nice and dissolved here. Alright, I'm gonna pour this into a little bowl here. Hopefully I don't spill it. Let's try it over the sink. Perfect. This is my dip. This is my rice paper roll, and I'm gonna dig in now. Alright, here we go. So good. I don't want to talk with my mouth full, but the best thing about rice paper rolls is it's just so fresh and it feels so healthy, and it's not too hard to make. Alright, so there you go. Vietnamese rice paper rolls. Have some fun at dinner time with the little ones, with the whole family. Give it a go. See you guys.